Hey guys, Brook Potter here. In this video, I wanted to update you about my carnivore diet, where I have just celebrated my Carniversary, or the 1 year since I have been on this diet, and the results have been phenomenal. It's definitely the most satiating and easiest diet that I have ever been on. And yes, I'm still on it, and I plan to continue it, at least into the near future. I'm about 80% carnivore. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm a traditional carnivore. I do have some cheese and some dairy products from time to time. I'm not strict carnivore in that respect. And yeah, there are a couple of days that I deviate and such things. Definitely the most satisfying and satiating diet that I've ever been on. It is the easiest diet I've ever been on. I do miss a little bit of food variety from time to time, but I'm making do really, really well. The weight loss has continued. I think in my last video I was under 200 pounds, and again I wasn't really following it. We had to change the scale, so there was a time I didn't know what I was weighing. But I know that I've kind of bumped back up above 200. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm going to the gym now, and I'm kind of half-assing it at the gym, if I'm really honest. Simply because, for vanity reasons, I don't particularly, and I guess for financial reasons, I don't really want to spend a lot of money right now on a whole bunch of new clothes. I know I'm going to have to kind of upgrade my wardrobe entirely at some point. And when I was, really losing the weight and stuff like that, the clothes were very baggy, and it was becoming more and more evidence that, the clothes didn't fit. So I decided to start going to the gym just to kind of bulk up a little bit to see if I could stretch out the use of the clothes just that much longer. I know that sounds kind of silly and everything, but that's kind of my thinking. But I know the weight loss has continued. When I started this journey, I was a size 38 waist. I'm down to a size 32, at least with my Levi's. Another brand, I'm down to a 30. And again, it's kind of an issue in the UK. There's so many different brands out here. Not everything is sized the same. So it's kind of difficult to know exactly what that is. But evidence from the clothing, yeah, definitely everything is fitting a lot looser. As well as the fact that I'm running through belts quite aggressively. Some of my work belts I can't use anymore because they're just no more, I can't pull the belt in any further. I made a trip out to Northern Ireland and I bought another belt, and now I'm on the last hole of that. And I think on one of my last work belt, I got like one more hole. So I'm going to have to punch some new holes in these belts eventually. And a lot of people have noticed it. Like, now, just being honest, I look at myself every day, so I don't really see the differences as much as somebody who, is just observing me from a distance. They say my face and everything else is looking a lot thinner and slimmer and stuff like that. People are coming up to me in the gym and they notice that, from a couple months ago, I've really kind of toned up and they've noticed the difference. People are like, how much weight have you lost, and this, that, and the other. So I still don't see it. I still, I know I have a lot more to go, but I'm really, really enjoying the journey. It's the easiest thing in the world. Now, I do practice intermittent fasting with this as well. So I stop eating at about 7. Usually my last meal is really about 6 in the evening. And I have my first meal 12 o'clock the next day. So that gives me a good window of fasting in between. My diet consists mostly of bacon and eggs in the morning. I'm probably going to reduce the bacon because I see that it kind of irritates my joints a little bit. But yeah, I just needed some variety in that respect. And ribeye steaks. And occasionally I'll also add some burgers, high-fat burgers, into that mix as well. So generally, those are my staples. That's what I pretty much eat every day. I'm doing about 5 large eggs a day, 6 strips of streaky bacon, and it's great. It's I look forward to eating that every day, and it's been really phenomenal. Now, I did do a couple of blood tests along the way for, of course, checking on this as well as, just general health and other things. And yeah, everything is kind of checked out fine. They're not concerned with my cholesterol. They're not concerned. I think my triglycerides are really good. My white blood cell count was high. They thought it might have been an infection, but in my most recent blood test, everything seems to be fine. And the same doctor actually put me in touch with a nutritionist. When I told her what I was doing, she was fully on board. She recommended a couple supplements because she wasn't sure if I can get everything I need from just meat. So she did recommend like a multivitamin, some fish oil, and a vitamin D supplement. And I still take the vitamin D supplement. While I do enjoy the British summer, and this year has been phenomenal, it got up to almost 40 degrees out here. I swore I was back in Trinidad and Tobago a couple of times, and I've been spending a lot of time outdoors, but I know generally speaking, I probably don't get as much sun as I probably should be getting. So I'm still on the vitamin D supplement, but that's neither here nor there. I've also added a little red light therapy to the mix, as well as going to the sauna at least once a week. I'll be honest, I haven't done it in about 3 weeks because I just got back from Iceland, so I've got to kind of get back into that as well. But yeah, the red light therapy, I don't know if it's doing anything. It's not a very big, it's just like one bulb, and I kind of spot, I do 20 minutes all over the body kind of thing. And yeah, I think that's been good. Again, I haven't noticed any major changes, but people have been telling me my skin is looking good. Different things like that. The sauna has been excellent as well. I've really enjoyed it. And the one where we go to, me and my friends, we go to once a week. It's really hot. In fact, when I went to Iceland, I did the steam room, and that was nothing compared to the sauna that I was accustomed to. And yeah, I'm trying to keep that up with a couple of friends, and yeah, we will see how that continues to go. Now, one of the things that I did notice in this journey was a couple of months ago, the weight loss really stopped. It kind of plateaued, and I was, what's going on with this? And I started looking at different options. I started talking to people in the different chat rooms, in the different Facebook groups and other things. And I came to realize that I'm probably, at that time, wasn't getting enough salt in my diet. My flatmate, he had a book on salt. I eventually got the Salt Fix. I will put a link to that below if anybody hasn't read that book. Very informative, very interesting information. And I started to increase my salt intake every day, between 6 to 10 grams of salt. I got Redmond's sea salt, I believe it is. Bought it on Amazon, and still on that pack. And if it was a gym day, if I was going to the gym, I would start the morning with 5 grams of salt, and that's basically my pre-workout. And that had an amazing effect on my gym performance. I could go for much longer. I could lift heavier weights, which was really, really impressive. I really appreciated that addition. And as I say, if it was just like a normal work day, I would stick to about 6 grams. And yeah, that was the big addition. And then the weight really started to come off again. And apparently, I think if you don't have enough electrolytes in your body, the body raises the insulin, which is what you need to release the fat. It raises the insulin levels to try and keep the electrolytes in the bloodstream, so that it could maintain function and stuff like that. So I just had added to my water in the morning. People are kind of disgusted by that. They say it tastes like sweat, but I had no problem with it. I would, chug a 500 milliliter bottle of water with 3 grams or 5 grams if it's a gym day, and I was fine. And then I would also go and put the salt in my coffee. Now, the coffee is one of those things that is not necessarily part of the carnivore diet. But I do salt my coffee in the morning, and I do have my coffee with like a powdered milk as well as a bit of honey, because, fuck you, I want a cup of coffee in the morning, right? And again, I'm not killing myself on this diet. That is one of the deviations from the strict carnivore diet. I do enjoy a really good cup of coffee in the morning. Beyond that, when I go out socially, I'm not going to be that guy who's, give me meat with a side of meat. I don't really eat out that often. I've had some, I think like my only out days would probably be, if I'm doing fast food, it'd be like a McDonald's or a Burger King. I'll get like the stack of 4 patties. If it's McDonald's, I get, I think 10 of the double cheeseburgers, the really small ones. I'd pick at some fries sometimes if it, like recently I did a trip out to Iceland, and Iceland is already ridiculously expensive because they import all of the food. So yeah, had to do a lot of carbs on that trip, because there was no way that I could afford to like go full carnivore while I was on that trip as well. And, you know, every so often I'd have myself a couple slices of pizza, meat pizza, you know, extra pepperoni, and all that kind of stuff. Thin crust to try and limit the carbs as best I can. But yeah, why? Because I like pizza. And, you know, once in a while it's not going to kill me. So those are my major deviations and stuff like that. But yeah, I've continued to see progress. I've continued to see improvements. I do have a lot further to go. I don't have any before and after pictures, but I'll see if I could find somewhat of a comparison, and I will put that in this video. But beyond that, it's been a great experience. I'm continuing it as far as I can. The community has been great, really answering a lot of questions. A couple of my friends have actually kind of jumped on the bandwagon. Some more keto carnivore, some kind of almost paleo. But yeah, it's been, you know, quite an improvement in my health and otherwise. So yeah, guys, that's my video. Thanks for watching. As always, a lot of you guys watching these videos are not actually subscribed to my channel. I would appreciate if you did. Trying to get those numbers up a little bit. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, as well as leave comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.